Hello. Let me know if you can hear and see. Pretty please. Since I'm trying a new mic, so the whole point is to test out the sound. Oh, cool, can see and hear me. The volume is low. Okay, hold on. Is it low for everyone, or is it just for the love of loot who's having issues with the volume? So, hi Isabella, for the love of loot, Tsukabu, Avery, Patricia, Jacqueline, and Maddie. Hi guys. Bummer. How is it like this? Is this any better? Hi Malvina. Hi Tua. Much better? Is it still too low? I'm not sure how much background noises it picks up. I have a fan working, so if you hear something in the background, that's the fan. Super hot today. Oh, good. So the sound is okay. Hey, Otto. Hi. Hi, Camilla. Oh, awesome. Great. Okay, so I will further test it out. I can show you what I got. I saw these on Amazon and they were like really inexpensive. Hold on, let me close the box. So I wanted to get a lapel mic or a lavalier pick mic, and this is the one I got. So it's a weird company named Boya. But yeah, I wanted something that I would follow me and would be easier to record audio with it when I'm doing live streams. I don't speak really loudly in general, so the issue is always the volume. But if you tell me that this volume is fine, that's a problem solved. Okay. So I will proceed with the mini haul. Basically, a bunch of orders from Jackson's all arrived today. So it's not a lot of things, but it's a great few things. I will start with the funniest one, in my opinion. I'm pretty sure Otto will laugh at this, but I bought masking tape from Jackson. They only had this one in pack of 18. So I was like, well, give me 18. So yeah, that's a That's a solid bunch of masking tape. I think I'm good for a while with this. But yeah, it's fairly inexpensive on Jackson's. So really worth grabbing a set of 18. It was like 4 or 5 pounds. So maybe what, $10 at most for 18 rolls. I do like the tape. The thing is I was looking for a good tape that is like about this width, and Otto sent one to me to try out, and I really loved it. So huge bunch of them now. Good for a bit. Something else I got from Jackson's that I was pretty excited actually is this palette. I have a similar one in the fuchsia color. Hi Heather! And the thing is that in general over here in Canada, when I see Mijello products, they've been rebranded under a different company. I'm trying to remember the name of the company, but I do not remember it. So anyway, this fusion palette I got from Jackson's as well. Thanks to everybody who uses my affiliate links. I had saved up enough money to get a new one, and I was fortunate enough that this was the blue one. I have a fuchsia one, so the blue one makes it super easy to identify which is which. So just reading on the box because sometimes there is some fun stuff on it. The selling point of their palettes is that they say that the palettes have this surface that doesn't bead and will give you a good preview of what the color will be on paper. So when you mix a color on this palette, it gives you a better impression of what the color is supposed to be on paper. Fusion 18, an artist watercolor palette, advanced product technology. Our technology and pride are well known around the world. Made in Korea. Cool. It beads apparently. Otto says that it beads anyway. But not that this is not why I bought it. I wanted this one because it has 18 wells in it. And I've been taking Sherry Blackoff's lesson on Craftsy, and she uses 18. Ooh, that's new. And she uses 18 colors. So I figured that I would relocate her colors in there, perhaps because I quite enjoy using them. And yeah, there's this part that you're supposed to be able to take off. And yeah, there's a seal. It's supposed to be watertight at least. Anyway, fun palette, but this is quite new. I do not think I've ever had this in one of my Mijello products. Oh wow, full range of color. That's interesting. It always makes me laugh when they have these, you know, these super fancy way of showcasing showcasing the qualities of a paint. It always sounds like all the other paints are something that was put together by someone that you spinned around for like half a minute and in the dark, and you gave them inappropriate tool, and that's how they made the paint. Because I mean, all professional paints are fairly good. Anyway, okay, funny. Yeah, it's probably a good palette for gouache as well. Yeah, well, what is this? Oh, it's a 6-color watercolor chart. I know everything. I was going to get Mijello stuff for you. Well, you were speaking about the paints, weren't you? Oh, hi, Josefina. This is the palette. This is not necessarily... I don't have much in terms of Mijello paints. I have to look at my stash because I think Ame has sent me pans of the Mijello paints, and perhaps Denise has sent me a few colors in tubes that she didn't enjoy. She sent them to me because I don't really mind. I love all the colors. Slice this open. Colors by Nature. Wasn't that a brand I've reviewed? Is it Colors of Nature? Colors by Nature? Anyway. Oh, that's so cool. So they sent a swatch sheet. Seems to be on watercolor paper, which is really nice. Yeah, there's burgundy red, and you have like the light fastness, the pigment, the number and the name of the color. You have the series, and whether it's transparent and or granulating. Wow. That's how you make a paint chart? Eve is the Mother Teresa of colors. Okay, so yeah, the color is burgundy red, rose madder, which is not genuine rose madder, quinacridone permanent magenta, phthalo blue. This would be red shade, I think. Viridian, that is actually phthalo green, and green gold, that is oddly enough, I think it's, is it Azo Yellow in Daniel Smith PY150? Huh. Nice. Very nice chart. Good job, guys. Okay. So there's that. But the 36 set comes with a palette. Well, yeah, but I mean, you can't have too many palettes, can't you? Can you? I mean, I have many palettes because they all stored different paints, I guess is what I'm trying to say. Hi Victoria, hi Chini. Okay, another thing that I got that I've already sort of filled and stored, but I will unfill and unstore it. I had a few of these. These are Schminke Horadam watercolors. So these are colors that I had previously, but I saw this tin. It was quite affordable, and it's made for tubes, and I felt like it would be a really nice way to store the tubes I have. I quite like the Schminke tins, which should be sort of obvious by now. This one is not sharp. Yay! That's the problem with Schminke tins. You never really know if you're gonna get one that is super sharp in here or that it's fine. The insert will always be super sharp, so be super careful with that. Like both the tray for the tubes and this edge here is. I don't know if you can hear this. Well, I will. Like it sounds sharp. Can you have too many palettes? I don't think so, but apparently Tsukabu's mom says yes, you can. I have many palettes as well, but then again, the more I use paint, the more I realize that I don't use it all for the same thing, so every palette has sort of a use. So I got these as well. These three are the special edition Lapis Lazuli, Green Porphyry, and Red Opalite. I know they are not exceptional. I know that people have reviewed them and said that they're not super pigment loaded and all of that, but I really like this kind of paint, and I really wanted to get a feel for them myself. I've tried the Primatech a lot. I've tried handmade paints a lot, even my own, and I wanted to give these a try. Also, it's pretty nice to be able to bring the mic around with me when I gotta go fetch some stuff. Okay, so yeah, they had these. like for free on Jackson's. You could order the postcards. And I just thought that since these are a special edition and it's a fairly unique item, and I'm a watercolor fan, artist, whatever, I just felt like these were cool. If I had space for a frame, I think I would frame them, just because it's definitely something that would belong in my studio. So yeah, I just thought that this was fun. Like, they explain a bit about the colors on the back, like red opalite. As a semi-precious stone excavated in Arizona, US, opalite is the pre-stage of the gemstone opal. As a watercolor, it is a light, warm red-brown with semi-opaque character. And I mean, I love that they are fairly, it's gonna be funny to say, but they are fairly transparent in their, the way they sell these products. Oh, hi, Pamo! Pamo! Paulo! What is going on with my head? Hi, Paulo! Okay, so this is the nice lapis lazuli, apparently. Still better than Daniel Smith. I think Daniel Smith has used like the ash gray pigment instead of the deep blue one. Same, I don't know how many palettes I have. What you mean is watercolor hoarder. Yes and no, because I use the paints. I don't feel like a hoarder since I buy this stuff to use it, and I don't feel bad about using it. I will break into a paint if I want to. Like, it's not something that I buy just to keep in a collection, personally. So I don't feel really bad about this. But yeah, I like that they are really opaque about the way these paints, like you have these, due to their stony origin, all three colors are extremely light fast, 5 stars, slightly granulating, and in their color impression more subdued than colors with a chemical origin. I mean, it's fancily written, but basically it means that, yo, these colors are light fast, super granulating, and they will not be as bright and pigment loaded as other paints you've tried, which is not something you get from Daniel Smith's Primatech range. Like, the Primatech really focuses more on like, look at these colors, look, they're pretty, look, while these are more like, hey, look at this is fairly unique and it's going to be different than what you're used to. I also got Potter's Pink because I was like, if I'm going to get granulating stuff, I will get Potter's Pink as well. I did draw the dragon myself, yes. So I can fit just about all the small Horadam tubes I have in here. Some are like older. Like the Indian yellow and the helio green, they're not the same packaging. And I have walnut brown as well, that is discontinued, but I quite like it. So I'm glad I still have a tube of it in here. Yeah, so there is one tube that doesn't really fit in, but I just like stuff it somewhere. And ta-da! Oh, Heather says, my name is Heather and I'm an art supply and kitty hoarder. I totally stand by that. That's pretty awesome. Well, hi, Vinolo? What do you mean, any tips as far as shapes? Question, do you like Schminke Horadam watercolors? Yes, I do. Obviously. Okay, something else that's... Oh, wait, I'm gonna finish. Trying to think, what did I get from Jackson's? Because I kind of stored stuff right away, so it's not in the way, but I got these. I am not sure if I will like these, because they're quite big. But I think they would be great for working with fresh paint. And that at least you have plenty of space to mix, which is sometimes problematic. But the thing is these are nice for having space to mix, but my desk is fairly small, so I'm still not sure how that will play out. so yeah. Oh, you have these palettes, Otto. Is that what you're saying? Oh, cool. Yay. Do you know if they beat up? Or if they're better than others? Okay, something else that I got that I was super excited to get. It's I don't remember if it's free or if it's not free. It's fairly inexpensive, but it's a hand-painted sheet of swatches of the golden, iridescent, and interference colors. And I think, I'm not sure this will show. Oh yeah, that shows. But there is nothing as useful as this when you want to buy something that's a bit different. Like hand-painted, you see exactly how the paints, they react. Like, say I want to buy a gold paint. Well, there is one, no, this one is not one of them, but it is golden looking. I mean, it's bronze, but close enough. 1, 2, 3, 4 iridescent gold. You have gold fine, gold coarse, gold deep fine, and bright gold fine. And I'm like, if I just look at the swatches online or the bottles online, I have absolutely no idea which effect I want. So the fact that they offered this hand painted swatch is pretty amazing, and you even have like this super coarse stuff like the mica flakes. I mean, it's, look at that, that's pretty awesome. It's legit mica in there. And you can see, like, say this one was the one that surprised me the most. It's like super dark black with a tiny bit of sparkle in it. It's Schminke iron oxide. I tried. But anyway, and yeah, you can see like the interference and the everything that's going on. Oh yeah, I agree. This one, the bright gold fine. Ooh. Gold deep fine, sorry, this one. Yeah, and you can see how opaque they are, or how much of the paper kind of peeks through. It's really awesome. Golden, they're a good bunch. Yeah, it's the golden acrylic swatches, but for the iridescent and interference colors. And I just put it in a sleeve, you know, plastic sleeve. Winalow, okay. Like, where do I start? Sometimes artists base it off of shape, like for faces, start with the circle. Okay, in terms of illustration, when you start, shapes is always a good way to start. If only to lay down what's the space your drawing is gonna take and how you can play with the proportions to make it more interesting. But it's something that you will really define through practice. So start one way, and if it works for you, you're gonna get better at it, and if it doesn't work for you, you're gonna adjust it until it works for you. So there is not exactly like one way to start. You just gotta, it's like a circle. Basically get into the circle and start moving with the circle, and you're gonna get somewhere. Well, if you just wait for the right moment to jump in, you might never jump in. Oh, Otto is saying that the fine gold is what she used for her Fluid Serendipity series, which are super gorgeous. If you have a link to them, Otto, I want you to put the link in the chat somewhere. Okay, next thing is not from Jackson, because I think that was mostly it for the Jackson stuff. But I got this in the mail from Wet Paints, and I'm pretty sure you guys know, perhaps, maybe, what it is. This is the collaboration palette that they did with Jennifer McQueen. There's a cute, it's a cute magnet. It's a bee. Oh, this is so nice. It's so cute. Jennifer is a really awesome painter. Her website is justaddwatersilly.com, and she did this palette, the Schminke palette, in collaboration with wet paint. I think Jennifer is a Canadian artist, so I was pretty happy to see that. And what they did is they basically put together this palette using this super colorful tin that was the holiday special tin, and Jennifer chose 12 colors to put in the set. I'm trying to open this up carefully. All right. Hi, Victor. Oh, bye, Winalo. Hi, Farley. Hi, Che. Well, I'm mostly through, but I will do a quick recap in the end. So yes, as I was saying, I really like Schminke tins, so I'm really happy with this tin. Aside from the fact that the cover is super playful and fun, and finally a palette that sort of reflects what watercoloring is about for me. It's about the colors. Like, I have a good many black palettes by now, so when I saw that they would use this one for this set, I was super excited. And it's good quality Schminke, like we were used to. This one has the rolled edges, which is pretty awesome. It stands a bit upright, but that's really easy to bend down. So it comes with 12 colors, and you still have room to add your own 12 more colors in this set, which I think these are my favorite watercolor sets. Definitely the ones that have room for you to customize this color assortment. You can do a lot with 12 colors. You basically only need 3 or 4 to paint just about anything. But say you see the selection and for you there's a color that you really enjoy that is not in there, well, you can easily add it below, which makes this really useful. This palette was not from Jackson's, it was from Wet Paint. At wetpaintart.com, sold through select independent art retailers. They often make these kind of collaborations with artists. This is the third one, I think. Last year we had 2 that came in the square 18 colors palette by Schminke, and this is the first one this year, I think. I will put this on. I don't know if you can read, but it says, "I'm Jennifer McQueen of justaddwatersilly.com. I have 2 passions, art and books. I'm a watercolor and mixed media artist and an avid reader, so you'll always find either a book or a paintbrush in my hand. I supplement my energy with many cups of hazelnut coffee. I guess that means I have 3 loves, not 2. I don't remember a time when I didn't want to be an artist. In my 20s and 30s, I was so afraid that if I tried painting and wasn't good enough, my dream would die and I'd have nothing. So instead, I dabbled in dozens of crafts and even had a designer wedding cake business. Nothing fulfilled that desperate need to paint. Finally, my mother, in her frustration, yelled, 'Just add water, silly.' The next week, I created my blog and started to paint. For several years, I was also the Canadian contributing editor of Featuring, an art magazine. My favorite subject matter has deep shadows and interesting colors. I thrive on the brightest, clearest colors I can get. I like to thrill the viewer and endeavor to make my art visually jump off the page. That's me in a nutshell. Actually, pinecone would be more appropriate in British Columbia, Canada." So that was Jennifer's words. Hi, Lena, and a chat fail. Did you see Daniel Smith's new artist.card? No, I haven't. So yeah, so the colors in this set are pure yellow, chromium yellow deep hue, transparent orange, nice, ruby red, French ultramarine, Helio Cerulean, which is basically phthalo blue, sap green, phthalo green, transparent sienna, Payne's gray bluish, brilliant opera, hey, and cobalt turquoise. So yeah, really nice little palette that I'm super excited to try out with the bee. Oh no, the dots are so small. What? Hold on, I gotta check that out so you can have my live reaction to the like, it's not that like the Daniel Smith dots were big to begin with, so if there are anything smaller, this is gonna be really weird. So it's the Omar Jaramillo palette. Oh, it seems interesting. I'll have to check that out. Daniel Smith has many artist cards. The thing with the artist cards is that you can't really buy them. I think they are offered in certain shops, mostly in the US. And you gotta be there when they have them. They're not something that they will stock. Like they made them for many artists like Jane Blundell, Jean Haynes, Joseph Zbukvik, and many others. Like there's a long list of Liz Steele is one of them. And yeah, so this is a new artist, a new dot card, but it's not something like, you know, when they sell their big dot cards with all the colors on it. It's basically a way for you to test the color selection that a specific artist prefers. How much did it cost to ship to Canada? This one? Standard, about 15 USD. This is the shipping fee I encounter most of the time, regardless of what I buy that is outside Canada, especially in the US. It's always around $15. It hurts, and I don't buy often, but yeah, this was something that was really important for me, and I think I'm getting it now, but I do believe it was my birthday present. My birthday is not, well, it's soon-ish, but it's not right away, but this was my present for my birthday. Elf is asking, have you tried the Dynasty Black Silver brushes? I haven't. Nope, I don't. I've mostly tried Escoda and Royal and Magnical brushes, and a bunch of Winsor & Newton brushes, and a bunch of Nobel brushes, which is sort of the easy to find local synthetic brand. It's a magnet. It's a bee magnet. That's even better. How many dot cards does DS have? A lot. Oh, hi, Stephen. Okay, so I'm trying to see if there's anything else. I mostly wanted to try out the mix, so I'm super glad that seems to be working. Is there anything else worth showcasing in here? Do I have brush reviews? Not exactly. I'm trying to think. It's mostly paint reviews, but I'm always rambling about the brushes I enjoy, so I guess there's a bit of it throughout all the videos. Oh wow. Okay, so Otto says when talking about the... Oh wait, I think I have one. Looking through the stash of things. Haha! Okay, so I have one. Still brand new, still not tested yet. But just to give you an idea of what they look like. They basically all look like this. They have the same layout, except the artist's name will change, and the color selection will change, and the number of dots will change. So Otto says that there is one for Jane Bundle, Joseph Zbukvik, Georgia Manser, Frank Eber, David Tiller, Karen Siosan, Sizen, sorry, Sandy Alnock, Jean Ains, Jane Davenport, Alvaro Castagnet, Brenda Swenson, Liz Steele, and 6 more. So that would be one of the 6 more, and yeah. Yes, I will be posting this stream on my channel in the sense that it's gonna be posting itself on its own. Yeah, Jane Davenport has her own range of watercolors. She has a Schminke palette that is insanely priced, even for what it is. Like, I understand that it's a big tin of Schminke colors, but there's like not that many colors in it, and it's like $300–400, which is a bit expensive even for me. Like, I don't have an insane amount of money. I just decide where I spend it, and I often ask for these things as birthday gifts or Christmas gifts. But that palette, there's no way I could ask it as a gift, because I don't what is that thing? There are things that are expensive and there are things that are pricey. Was that the thing? Anyway, like, I feel like the Jane Davenport Schminke palette is too pricey for what it is. I'm fairly confident you can get the colors and the tin, and I'm not sure it would run you as high as it does on her website. And she also has a dot card from Daniel Smith, so she's all over the brand. Yeah, I saw official pictures of hers as well. Oh, bye, Stephen. I am not sure I will buy the Daniel Smith half pants set when it comes out. I am waiting to see more details, because I just am curious to see how it will pan out. Like Otto was saying, they've shown this picture of this box that has maybe, what, 20 colors in it? A bunch of colors in it. And I was unsure about, that's not what they advertise in their set. Then they advertise sets of like 6 colors, and I'm like, 6 colors? How are you gonna price this? How is it gonna be a tin for each set, or are you gonna sell the tin separately? And are you gonna unwrap the pin pans on camera? I could. So yeah, I'm a bit confused would be perhaps the proper word about the Daniel Smith half pans, and I'm a bit annoyed in the set as well, because like everything is so crammed together. I'm still unsure what I like to use when I paint in terms of layout. I can definitely use pans, but I don't know if it's my favorite thing. And I want to experiment with palettes a bit, like having a palette where you have like perhaps bigger amounts of paint, and I kind of feel weird when all my paints touch one another. Like, as much as I'm unable to paint within the lines, like I gotta clean up my stuff a lot when I paint. But at the same time, when I mix, I have a hard time staying in one pan, especially with larger brushes. So I always appreciate having a tiny bit of buffer space between the pans, if you know what I mean. Oh, I hope these... there's a thing with Schminke pans that I just find annoying. Well, at least this one has the number, but they're not all numbered. Like, sometimes you don't even know what color it is. Where is my pencil for brushes? I'm in a state where I use my stuff regularly enough that I never remember where I put it. Because I'm like, oh, there it is. Like, when was this the last time I used it, or was it that one, or was it this other time that I used this stuff? That's super confusing. But I use these. I try to label the pans, just because it's much easier to use that way. Hi, I wish to create. And GP. I'm glad to read that I am not the only one that prefers a bit of space around the pans. Thanks for making me feel better about that, GP. JP? Hi, Rhiannon. Yeah, I always make a mess when pans are too close, and I don't mind like contaminating colors when I'm painting, but it sort of bothers me, perhaps as a principle or something. So, oh wow, this one has a really long name, so I'm gonna try to Chromium Yellow Hue Deep. Maple says Schminke watercolors are typically transparent, right? It's not a matter of the brand, it's a matter of the pigment. So yeah, it's not the fact that they're Schminke, it's which pigment is used for the paint that will make it transparent or not. So if I look at the packagings so far, what have I got? I think I got the pure yellow seems to be transparent. The chromium yellow hue deep seems to be semi-transparent, and same from the transparent orange. Transparent orange is semi-transparent. Okay. Oh no! Sorry! Sorry I made you jump. I like to label them on the smaller side, because that way when I pop them in, I put the smaller side towards the space so I can read it. It's been pretty useful. What does chrome stand for? Paulo? What does chrome stand for in the... Oh, ruby red, that's such a nice color. It's PV19. So this set seems to have a really nice primary. Triad with the pure yellow, the helio, cerulean, and this ruby red color. Also, it has two yellows. I don't know if the transparent orange counts as a red, really, but it's possible. Like when you have transparent pyrrole orange from Daniel Smith, it's almost red. So basically 2 yellows, 2 reds, and 2 blues. 1 warm, 1 cool. Ah, French ultramarine. Maybe the only color I am not super excited about. Oh, by the way, Otto, I've been using the Daniel Smith burnt sienna you sent me, and it is so much better than the Italian burnt sienna. Like, I'm baffled. I'm I'm so glad it is, because I was really annoyed at the Italian burnt sienna that is super duper hard to wet and like a brick. But the regular burnt sienna from Daniel Smith is a breeze to use. Hi, Massimiliano. Oh, Heather, you'll have to send those to me. Heather says that she thinks she just got some good pictures of Crystal's crystal blue eyes. Kitty eyes. Yeah, the cool yellow, I think it's more like a neutral yellow, but it is called pure yellow. It is PY154, I think. Yep. Yeah, it's hard not to eat those. They look like candies, don't they? Like, well, okay. Maybe someone who doesn't like paint won't make this analogy, but it's like unwrapping fancy chocolates or something. I wish they made this square thin colored like this one. I think they had one. At some point there was a special edition of the Schminke, like a special Schminke palette, perhaps in the Academy range. But that was the square one with the space for 18 half pans or 9 full pans. But that's the thing with the Schminke special palettes, is if you can find them and you don't grab them, you're never gonna find them again. And outside of perhaps Germany, the Academy range is really hard to find, but they often have these super cute palettes with the colors for the Academy range. So you can easily, well, maybe not for everyone, but it's kind of more easy to get the nice palettes when you buy the Academy range. And I mean, even the Academy range is probably one of the best student range that you can buy. How do you get rid of the wrapper that sticks to the Schminke pans? Well, it's pretty straightforward, at least for these. These are perhaps quite new, but there's two parts to the wrapper. You have the wraparound with the information that's just on 4 sides of the pan. You can see that the top and bottom is not covered with it. I just peel it off. Like, it's glued, but it's not glued super strongly, and you can basically peel it off like this. I like to keep these because I paste them next to the color swatches, so I don't have to rewrite all the information. And this one is not really glued to anything. It's basically just wrapped around, and more often than not, the Schminke pans, they don't stick to this. But this is kind of a wax. The inside is kind of like waxy feeling, and the outside is just like the metallic side. So I don't know if that answers your question, Victor, but I've never really had any issues. You have to use a blowtorch? What? Oh, bye, Rhiannon. Blowtorch sounds really excessive. Oh, good old phthalo green. This set doesn't have a purple. That's special. That sounds metal. It does. In Italy, it is very easy to find Schminke watercolors, and yes, most of the time the best tins are filled with student grade paints. At least with Schminke, you're getting good student grade paints. I'm saying that because I've been working on videos featuring Cotman paints, and it's really fresh to my mind that not all student paints are created equal. This is beautiful opera. We'll just write opera. Oh no, we lost Otto. Yes, Otto, we can see you. Yeah, my cats are being lazy butts as well. It's not close enough to feeding time that they will be annoying. Ah, cobalt turquoise. This is gonna be fun. Ta-da! Such a pretty color. Question, are Winsor Newton Cotman paints that bad? That's not a question, that's a whole debate. I would say. It really depends. Honestly, it depends. A lot of people really like them. A lot of people can paint with them with no issues whatsoever. I don't really like them. I used them. I used them extensively when I started painting many years ago. Like there wasn't that much available. I am not sure we had Daniel Smith back then, but I was like what, 13, 14, 15, something like that, and I had no money. So basically I got the Cotman pocket sketcher and I was like, yep, this is good, this is paints, this is gonna work. And yeah, it's okay, but depending on what you like to paint, these paints might really not help you achieve that. Like, I love deep colors and I love colors that you can put on with full intensity, and Cotman will not give me that. But if you like more light tones and if you like working with more subdued colors perhaps, then sure, Cotman might work for you. Which student grade paints would you recommend? It always depends on what you are available to you, because not everyone has access to the same supplies. Like if you are in Germany and you have access to the Academy paints from Schminke, get those. I think the Ronnie Aquafine sets, the one that are either the small square or the big one, they're really nice, really decent, and super affordable. Think what else. I haven't tried them a lot, but like stuff like, well, the Van Gogh paints are nice. They could be a little more deep from my personal tastes, but they're nice paints. Some people say that Grumbacher Academy is nice. I haven't tried them a lot, so I can't say for that, but yeah, you got all sorts of people who use all sorts of paints, and not everyone likes the same characteristics or achieve the same results. So it really depends. Like, I don't like Cotman, but that's just me. If you like Cotman, that's really awesome for you, because you like a paint that is super easy to find, that is super affordable, and that is available in so many configurations that you are sure to find one you like. White Knights is a nice company as well. The Renaissance paints are really nice. It just really depends on what you can find. I think that the key element with student paints is don't go out of your way to get a student paint set. You're better off getting professional paints, in my opinion, than really trying to chase down an Academy set if you're in the US, say. If you know what I mean. Hey, Paulo! And there are many professional painters who will use Cotman. If you want to use Cotman, perhaps the only thing I would recommend is maybe try to use the paint from tubes. Like, you buy the tubes and you pour them into pans and you let it dry. I think it has perhaps a better composition than buying the pans, because the pans, they really have a high ratio of binder in there, and it really shows when you try to make a color dark. But perhaps the tubes are a bit better for that, and they will dry fine. don't listen to what Winsor Newton is saying. You can buy their tube paints and dry it in pans and it works perfectly fine. Oh yeah, it's really a nice color selection. I love this sound. Clip. I'm gonna share it here because sometimes, I think most people know of it by now, but sometimes someone doesn't know about this, and it's really simple. But if you have a pan and you put it in your tin, mind you, this tin looks pretty tight to begin with, but say you put your pan in there and it's moving like that, and basically when you tilt, it's not working well, but when you tilt your tray, like all the pans move around. The super quick way to fix that, it's not a problem with the tray itself, the tray is fine, is you just gotta squeeze these a little bit in. Like you bend them a little bit forward so that when you insert the pan, you insert the lower part first, like this, like the pan is literally sitting up, and then you push against the back and it will clip into place and it won't budge. And if you want to remove it, you just press on the pan against the backing and you lift it up, and it's gonna fly everywhere, but you're gonna remove the pan. That's something you want to do with pans that are wet or that have fresh paints in there, because that's gonna make a mess. So, bunch of wrappers, bunch of paints. Ah, this is beautiful. Pristine new pans. Oh, hi, Ethereal Ode. Okay, so I will go through the colors again. So we have pure yellow, that is PY154. Chromium yellow DPU, PY65. Transparent orange, PO71. Ruby red, PV19. French ultramarine, PB29. Helio cerulean, PB15 column 3. Sorry. Sap green, which is PY153 and PG7. Phthalo green, PG7. Transparent sienna, PR101. No, this is not transparent sienna. What am I? They're not in the same order. Okay, let's go back. This one is opera. Brilliant opera. It's definitely a neon or a fluorescent dye, and PR122. I don't know why they feel like it's fine to not include that a color has a dye in it. Like, definitely when you swatch this color, it's definitely not just PR122. Okay, so cobalt turquoise, PG50. This one is the transparent sienna, PR101, and Payne's gray bluish, which is 3 pigments, PBK6, PB15 colon 6, and PB15 colon 2. Oh, okay. Funny thing, it says about Brilliant Opera, it says that it's not achievable by mixing. Duh. It is fugitive, but when mixed with other light stable colors, it's good to go. Okay, sure. What? Huh. So Che's saying that these flaps on the sides have the same purpose as the tabs here, and it is, I guess, that you can lock in. You could bend these outwards and lock in the pan stuff in there. So I would be I don't know how you can sort of remove this after, but let's try this. Let's bend this a bit outward. Oops, not too much. Put one side in and bend the other, and oh, that's never moving. Yep. That works. Look at this. Not moving. Never moving again. It's definitely stuck in there for good. I could have glued this in and it would give me the same result. That's so cool. Though I guess that's kind of annoying when you don't have the rolled edges, because this seems to be clipping under the roll. So if there is no rolled edges, is it gonna stay in place just as well? Oh yeah, this set is mostly single pigments except for the sap green and the Payne's gray bluish. What set is this, Eve? Paulo is asking. This is the special set from Wet Paint and our artist Jennifer McQueen and Schminke. You know how Wet Paint always has these special artist sets of Schminke paints. This is the most recent one. It is the one with the rainbow cover. Holy crap. No sound, look at this! I'm really trying hard to shake this up and nothing is moving ever again. Thanks Che, for the awesome tip. I think you've blown the mind of more than one people. Is really a sap green in there? Yes. Yeah, it seems really nice. And it came with a cute magnet. Neat. Okay, so I will quickly recap everything. Yeah, Che, you missed everyone being impressed by the trick you shared about clipping the tray in there. I really need to try this with a sharp-edged palette if I can find one. See this one? This one doesn't even have anything like that. This is a Rembrandt one. So I'm not gonna try with this one. What is this one? Rolled edges as well. Bunch of rolled edges. What about this one? Oh, this one has the sharp edges. Yeah, okay, I doubt. I'm not sure if this will make any difference. Let's bend this outward. Push one side in, the other in. Ah, well, what do you know? Still falls out, but doesn't wiggle around as much. Wait, hold on. Can you try it with one of the the Meaden one? I don't think I have any genuine Meaden item, but I have this one that is also pink. It doesn't exactly go under the rolled edges, so it doesn't shake around, but it kind of wants to fall down anyway because it doesn't clip under there. Yeah, see? Doesn't fall out though, but it doesn't want to stay as much in place as the other ones. Question: top 3 favorite watercolor brands go. Top 3 is difficult because I have at least 5. That still wiggles around a bit. Top 5 would be Holbein, Daniel Smith, Schminke, Sennelier, M. Graham. Yep. This one is another super cheap. This one is actually one of the Prima marketing tins. Seems to be not super, not as sturdy as the Schminke ones. That's interesting. It still doesn't clip under there. Like the Schminke one really clipped nicely under the rolled edges. Yeah. So that's why it's absolutely not moving. Look at this! Rage! And nothing moves. That's so cool! So cool! Alright, so quickly recapping all of this. I started with the big ass roll of tape. It's a roll of tapes. This is the one I like to use in my current sketchbook because it's half inch. So yeah, I go through a lot of tape. Sadly, it's not super eco-friendly, but tape. Then there was the Mijello palette. Super nice palette in blue. It came with a cool watercolor chart, we call it. With this paper as well. There was also the Horadam palette and colors. So this is a palette for tubes, and I'm trying to fit one more tube in there than I should, which is why it's a bit problematic. No, we don't want you in there, go away. Anyway, there's that. There was the Schminke Jennifer McQueen set. I also had this super cool hand painted chart of golden FX paints. Like, this is acrylic, but I really love FX paints, so I thought it was super awesome, especially to see these, like the mica ones, and like it's all kind of weird stuff going on that I wouldn't have thought. And yeah, I like Otto was saying, these are really great, and with this you can really see the difference between all the colors. Like, this is iridescent copper light, and this is iridescent copper, and I wouldn't have thought that this would be the difference between these two colors. A roll of tape made out of rolls of tape, yeah. A drum of tape, yeah, a drum of tape sounds nice. Yeah, I bought the lapis lazuli and opalite and green porphyry. Okay. Not collaborating, so yeah. 2 postcards. Yes, binder and ground rocks. Bling. So yeah, that's not the, well, it was not a humongous haul in terms of number of items, but a lot of these things were not necessarily cheap. As I was quickly explaining, most of these were possible thanks to programs like Jackson's affiliate links program, that whenever someone buys something using my affiliate links, a small portion of the sale goes to me in form of credits, and it costs nothing extra to the person who buys stuff. So it's a pretty great way to help. And this palette was possibly the most expensive item of this whole thing, but it's my future birthday gift. So I am not sure if I will be allowed to use it right away. I'm not sure if I will be frowned at for unwrapping it all already, but yeah, it will be my birthday gift. So yeah, that's basically the roundup of everything. Oh, and last thing, this is why I wanted to make this impromptu live stream. I wanted to test out this new microphone that was fairly affordable and perhaps would give me a better quality of audio for when I'm live streaming, instead of having my huge microphone here catching up all the background noises and all the weird things going on. So yeah, I made a mess. Look at this mess. It's a beautiful mess, but it's a mess. So yeah. Is there any last minute questions? Question, can you make a comparison of the Schminke and Daniel Smith paints with semi-precious stones? I hope you don't hear my stomach grumbling. That would be really awkward. I'm thinking about it. I will be talking about these, of course, because they're special and I'm excited to talk about them. Trying to think, I don't have any of the Primatech Lapis Lazuli to compare. I don't think they have a color that's close to the Opalite, but they might have a... They don't have a green porphyry, but it looks a lot like, you know, all the green earth colors, so perhaps this one I can compare with something else. But as for these two, I'm not quite sure if I have anything that would make for a good comparison. Oh yeah, glad. Oh, thanks for putting my link up there, Otto. Otto has put my affiliate link in the chat. Oh really? Good to know. Massimiliano says he has the same mic and it's a great one. Yes, sorry, Avery. I saw the emails. I have a few emails that I need to get back to, but it's been hectic as always. So yes, I saw the email. I will write back as soon as I can. Sorry about that. So that's it for me. Thanks everyone for being there to test this mic and talk about new supplies and be excited about them. I love that this gives you a bit of a sneak peek into what might possibly happen on the channel in the coming weeks. So I think that's pretty awesome. So thank you all for being there. Thank you, Otto, for being an awesome moderator, especially on those impromptu videos that are not scheduled or anything. And yeah, feel free to ask any questions if you have them in the comments. I try to reply to the comments as much as I can. And I'm trying to think. I think that's it. Alright, so more to come. In any case, I will be live streaming Saturday for the Cat Today live stream, so we will see each other then. Until Saturday, I hope you have a great week and you're not too warm. And take care. Bye bye.